Welcome, everybody. This is the CyphaDen chat. I'm your host, Tayamu Denku. I got my homie Pestilence with me. We're on the CyphaDen chat. We want you to
get in the podcast.
There it is. And tonight we have special guests, Philly Phil in the building, Philly Phil Entertainment. I basically just call Philly Phil an entrepreneur. He's a jack of all trades. And then we also have special guest host Grant Gatsby in the motherfucking house. So yeah, man, we're gonna have fun tonight, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, it's all family.
Yeah. Before we dive into any stories, any background, what y'all think of that Tyson fight?
Ooh.
Man, look, that Tyson fight, it's like, I'm reading different stuff and hearing different things and analyzing, but they had in the contract that they couldn't go like all out at each other. It's like it was in the legal part of it that they couldn't even really go in the contract.
Yeah.
So then it's like it was all like a setup, pretty much. Like this,
it was like Pepsi, and they weren't even trying to hide that it was like they weren't even trying to.
Yeah, I mean they built it like something serious, but it just turned into a circus. But it was cool. It was cool to see him out there doing his thing. I'd like to see him just go all out and just make it real. Everybody's frustrated with that, and that's I don't know. That's show business, I guess. But when you paying money like that, especially the money they were charging, yeah, and you going to a show that's already set up.
That's all where I'm at. I just thought it was. They didn't even try to hide that it was blatantly just for publicity, even though like during the whole amount of time they were talking about how they're fighting. And I don't know. Yeah, I felt duped. I mean, it was. Mike's never laid. Are you kidding me? I've been watching Mike Tyson since I was a kid, and he's never laid. Man, he's never laid down. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So why even go through if it wasn't gonna be no real fight?
Yeah. Plus it's.
Well, I guess
$20 million. $20 million.
But plus the money, but
isn't it it's an official loss on his record, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, why would you?
It was a sanctioned fight.
So why would you even want to? I mean, your legacy. Why would you even want to do that?
Well, did you see? And this is what worried me before the fight. That interview he did, and he did it. It was like a school-age girl asked him the question about his legacy, and he just basically shit on that whole notion of a legacy mattering. And it's like once I figured that out, it was like it became a lot more possible to me that he would just be in it for the payday. And that's not something that I can relate to because it just is so foreign to me. And so why would you do something if you're going to, do it like that? But the way I look at it is he sold a loss on his record for $20 million. And they did a great job. Promoting the fight was phenomenal. The streaming, they were not ready for the turnout that they had. I think there was a lot of problems with the streams. But
streaming died when we were watching.
Streaming died. Straight
died. We lost it.
Yeah. We lost it.
Broke the streaming network.
Yeah. So it was too much for their servers. Yeah, it was too much for their servers to handle. But I think like the undercard was phenomenal. That one, Amanda Serrano got robbed in that one fight.
That's boxing though, man. So many people bitch.
That's the problem. Is like it sucks that boxing is like that.
Boxing's been like that forever.
Right.
At least since I've been.
It was weird for everybody to see it on such a national stage. I think it really hurt. That hurt boxing. But then the entrances, I think they did a brilliant job of, Jake Paul really leaning into the I'm going to be a douchebag and ride out in this car to Phil Collins. And then Mike walked out by himself looking so focused and so you really believed he was going to go out there and kill him.
Okay, pause. That's where that right there, my dude, Pest, that right there is my point and where I actually stand 1010% difference watching him for 40 years, homie. That dude was faking. I saw nothing but a different person that I haven't seen in my entire life. A person that was not energetic. Some of the screenshots and pictures, that was not, you watch the videos of the training and you know anything about his history, any fights, that's not Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is insane. That's why he's considered insane. Right. Talk about eating babies' kids before fucking fights and shit. I'm saying that dude had the face and looked like his play. He didn't even try to fight. If you look at him, there was multiple times he was pulling back. And again, back to what Philly said, hence the contract was some kind of a weird thing in it where they actually were supposed to be more preliminary and not an actual fight. Mike doesn't know how to really do that. So yes, does that tell me back to what you said? He took the fucking check.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a shame, you know.
Grant, we lost your audio. I don't know if he froze up or something. Oh. You still there, Grant? We lost your audio.
Oh shit.
Oh, there it is. There it is. You're back.
Oh, that sucks.
Like the end part of what you said there got lost. I don't really know what happened.
Yeah, the only part that I was saying was back to what Pest said. He brought up a good point. And Mike Tyson, when I saw his face and his emotions, the way he spoke, everything, his entire energy and his entire personality was not even Mike Tyson. Yeah. And that was the most surprising about the whole thing for me. The holding back of the fighting, they both did, but so did Mike. Dude, Mike could have rocked. Yeah. Mike could have rocked that dude. Rocked him.
Yeah.
And
he's an animal.
He didn't even act like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you saying?
So it goes.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the fantasy is reality thing. That's how it goes in this modern world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know, people say, yeah, it was great. All right. World, it was great. In the real world, it was garbage.
Yeah.
It was garbage.
Yep.
It was garbage.
It's a shame because like I was actually watching it with a family and there was a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old boy there who had never seen Tyson fight ever. You know, and their whole vision of who Tyson is and was is so nothing. You know, they have no idea. You know, so it's something that like, and I'm going to make one of those kids. I'm going to make them watch like a compilation of what he did and who he was. Like, you got to watch this and see like why we were watching this, thinking this guy is going to kill him, because that's who we know is that guy. You know, and you didn't see it, and it is a shame. It does hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't knock that promo though. The promotion for that shit was
the whole point. That's my whole point. Is
that's all it was. Promo. That promo.
The video. Well, but it wasn't just the promo, Dinku. What you're talking about, man, is you're talking about the training videos. That's what they used for the promo, and it showed the Mike Tyson that I remember from 3 years ago fighting the other champion, where he was ready for 10 more rounds. I don't know if you all remember that. Did you guys, anybody here, watch the fight 3 or 4 years ago during COVID, where he fought that old dude that was a younger champion, like 13 years younger than Mike Tyson? I don't know if it was
Roy Jones.
Yeah.
He came in and beat the fucking brakes off of him in a round and a half and made him sit in a chair by the interview at the end of the fight. And Mike Tyson was doing jumping jacks, waiting to fight another 10 rounds.
Yeah. And you know what's funny about that is that Roy Jones fucking announced this Tyson fight.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, man. But Yeah, Philly, man. What you been working on? What you been working on now, man? Like as now.
Well, um, right now I am working on the legal side of putting a new label together, which is going to be it's going to be label to put out. It's just going to be Ohio artists. I'm basically focusing on physical copies, like an X amount of run, and just sort of stack up the releases, build a portfolio of publishing and songs, and hopefully get a lot of artists out in a physical form where people can really get into what they're doing, and for the artists to have something that they can show for it. It's like putting out your streams and all that. That's cool, but you that's that's long money if you work it right. It's short money if you work it right, but
Mm.
having something physical in your fans' hands, like people who really care about what you're doing, it's still a special thing. They I just read from one of the just read an article that it's like it's more either this week or this year. I can't remember exactly that it was more independent releases this year than it was in the whole year of like I think they had 89 as a comparison. So much it's like there's a lot of people putting out, but the physical copy thing is something that has caught back on. See, vinyl, of course, vinyl's been surging for over 10 years. People think it just started. Like it's been going for a minute now, and it's really hitting. You think it's gonna peak, and it hasn't peaked yet.
Nope.
So then it to me as a label owner, to me, if I'm able to help artists, move themselves to the next level, help them serve their fan base to where, they really making a difference and not just be I know the games could be on playlists and stuff, but people are making money off their fans, and that's a good thing. So then to be able to service that side of it is, it's a long game. It's something that's sort of it should be as a labor love for me, but for the fans, whoever work with me, they're gonna have something special, just like that album I got from you, Dayton. That album's dope.
Appreciate you, bro.
That really solidify your fan base.
Yeah.
As well as other things that you offer. So that's my focus on my label, and and just let it grow from a business side. On the publishing side is really going to be a really good catalog for me to work for myself and for the artist. Uh, you know, I think I got a few hits just sitting waiting. So that's really I think that's going to support some of the work, and then the rest of it is just being savvy about how I do the business and just taking my time and doing one artist. Make sure I put my full. It's because it's just me, really.
Yeah.
Grant, me. I can't even call them a team. It's just I just got a lot of friends that that have helped me with it.
Hell yeah.
And over time, it'll be cool. I still haven't really named it. Yeah,
I was just about to ask what you gonna call it.
I don't know, because it's like I've built up the Philly Phil Entertainment name over the years to the point it's almost hard for me to,
I can relate to that. Yeah.
another name. I mean, even if it's the Philly Phil Entertainment, anybody knows it. I don't know. I don't really know how popular I am. I don't think I'm popular at all. But I know people that follow the things that I do and understand what I'm doing. So that name it does mean something. And it's hard for me to like, okay, I'm gonna call it Dayton View Entertainment or Ohio this or this and that. But see, I'm not out like touring like you are doing cool. I'm not out
Oh.
like DJing as much as I able to talk to the people that's that's interested in the type of music that I'm playing, that they get interested in maybe my merch, or they might get interested into something else I'm able to help them with, or just have a conversation. So that I'm not in those circles anymore. So to try to build another name like I built the Philly Phil Entertainment name, because my time is much different than it was back then, would almost, I mean,
I
it's
feel
almost
what you're saying. I
it'd be
understand
impossible.
what you're saying.
That it took for me to build a Philly Phil Entertainment name, and it would take for me to build a new name and to do it the way I know it's done to sustain it. I don't have that time anymore. So it's like, I put out the prison, which I don't think I sent it to you. Did I didn't do it?
Uh,
I-
I don't know if you sent me that.
No, I don't think I did, because I'm working on something else. I'm putting together something else for you to go.
Word up, word up.
That's why. But for me, it's like, it's just really about time. My life has changed a lot. You know, so then my time is much different. So it'll probably end up being Philly Phil Entertainment Recordings, like it already is. But but I'm making it legal, and getting all the paperwork done and taxes and things of that nature. That way I can move forward. I can move forward confidently and correctly, and not make some mistakes I made with the earlier stuff, and learn more. Constantly learning, man. Like working, like just talking to you when we met here in Dayton. I picked up little bits and pieces, because you out there doing it. I've done it, but it's always something, that next project is always something new to learn. Even though you've done it 100 times, it never comes out 100. It comes out 100 different ways. It's never the same. It's rarely the same. So it's always learning. So, with that said, Philly Phil Entertainment Recordings,
That's
and
what's up.
legal.
Or you should just do it Philly Phil recordings.
I could.
Philly Phil,
I,
man, that's what it is.
I'm actually real curious on how it moves forward. You be having the music business background, going to school for that. I'm real curious how it's going to be moving forward, because this new generation, um, like the younger kids don't really know the physical form of things and what that means to collectors of the music, because they're stuck on the stream. So I guess I'm curious, with your music background, of your direction of how to push that onto the newer generation to get them more engaged in
Um,
something like that.
well, uh, first, the artist fan base is really what I'm focusing on.
Mm,
Really focusing to have like a mass appeal. I'm really focusing on any particular artist fan base, and for them to have a special part of that that artist is doing.
mm,
Not to not to make it exclusive, like honestly exclusive.
mm,
Not streaming it. If somebody else wants to stream it or steal it or whatever, then that's why I got lawyers. So I don't worry about that. Um, to give the fans something special, and a good example is my homie Tino.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, shouts to
I
Tino.
always respected
Yeah.
Tino from the first time I met him, because he said, "Man, Phil, I really don't cuss in my music or nothing like that." I said, "That's very smart. I wish more people did that, because it just gives you a broader fan base to reach.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you do whatever you want, but that's a smart move if that's what you're into.
Mm,
So then Tino, over the years, has released things. He's always had physical copies for his fans. He was streaming. He always had a CD to give out or to sell. And
Yeah.
over the years, it paid off for him, because when you have something physical, I mean, we all still humans, regardless of what the streaming is doing.
mm,
And that's the element that I'm really working on. So then if I make 50 copies of artists and like to sell a record for 30, 20, 30, 40, 50 is, 80, you got Taylor Swift shit sitting in there in the store for $75, $100, and it's flying off the shelf. So it ain't like the money's not there.
Yeah.
It's really about whether the fan base is dedicated to artists. If I can help with my name and having things available for them, if I can touch, that's really my goal.
Feel it.
And eventually it might stream, it might not, but that's not really my focus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No,
I like it.
I
Dig it.
I love the idea because I want more people to buy the music. I mean,
Well, it's immediate money, but people gotta understand. People are making 4, 5, 6 figures off their streaming. Sure,
Mhm.
it exists.
Barely.
How many fans do you really have? Now you've seen this yourself. Everybody sitting here. I got all these streams, and even with the different matrices, I always tell artists like, man, look at where you want to plan a tour. You got all this. I'm gonna give you a contrast. You got all this information now. I tell them, man, look at where your music is streaming at. Use that information. That's the easiest way to plan a tour.
Mhm.
Go where your fans are. You got to get up and go if you're really going to make a fan base.
Yeah.
But damn, nobody listens to my shit in the United States, but I got all these streams over in Europe. Go to Europe, dude. Figure it out. There's a ton of people that book shows for here for Europe. You can just go to Europe. People, you know what I'm saying? It's easier said than done. But if you got all this information, you have to be able to use it to your advantage.
Blueprints on tour in Japan right now.
Right, because of one homie knew him, one other homie knew him. We talked about it, and I say yes. My man D. LaBrie's done that. My homie D. LaBrie from the Bay. His whole fan base is in Japan, Philippines. His whole fan base. He goes on tour once or twice a year in those regions where he has a fan base. This was a long story how he built that fan base.
That's crazy. Yeah.
But he goes there twice a year, puts out a new record, tours, comes back to the United States, and he lives off that money, basically.
Hmm.
Does whatever else he does here in the United States. But that is where his main fan base is. So then the contrast is, you have a group or a band or whatever, you go on tour. Every place you go, and when I say go on tour, playing bars, dude, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Playing bars, and if you build up a fan base, playing some nicer places, whatever. Every place you go, you're shaking the hand of the person that owns the place. You're shaking the hand of the booking agent. Shaking the hand of the bartender. You're shaking the hand of the waitress. Who's the main homie in town? Who's the records? Can you take some records there to their place? Can you take your records all over the city before you have to leave to the next city? You're shaking all them hands. You're writing down numbers. You're taking it on your phone. That's how you used to build fan bases, and that still stands, by the way. But to start out, that's how you used to have to get the information, know where people like you, to be able to do what you can do now in a matter of minutes with these matrices.
Yep. 100%.
I think the other big thing.
That's real shit. Like that's 101, Phil. 101, buddy. Man.
Well, I like the physicals as well. Because the physical thing, I've learned that like you can send somebody your album online on a streaming service, and they'll probably check some of it out. And if they're a fan, they'll listen to the whole project. But if you just send it to somebody that's like, I want to hear your music, they might listen to one song and then they got something else on. I want to listen to this, and they can do it with the click of a button. But when you give somebody a record or a CD, they listen to the whole thing. If they listen to it, they listen to the whole thing more often than not.
Plus, your name is in their face. You are in their house, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Speaking of records, you were DJ PRZM's manager for a
Yes.
long time. So we had spoken to Grant earlier on about the history of Ohio hip hop. And the particular song that always comes to mind when I talk about DJ PRZM is the Hold the Floor joint. So I want to ask you, did you know when that song happened that it was gonna do something big before it did something big?
Yeah, man. Like the original hold the floor. I can't think of the name of the song, but the hold the floor was the hook put on it. The original hold the floor was called. I wish I'm sure somebody called me out on when you run this. But the original hold the floor, and I was just listening to it the other day. Was another song that had Prism, Dro, Alejandro. It had Metaphors. Clips might have been on it, but it was a staple at the hip hop night on Sunday. Like that song is like it was a handful of that people just went nuts over every Sunday. That song, that sample at the end of Illogic Prism's Off the Clock album that has the Star Wars. Star Wars loop jammy. I can't remember the name of it. You know, it was like that, man. But that beat was just infectious. That beat was never beat and a fight didn't start. Or people just got hyped and started throwing. There was so much raw energy, you know. And Prism was a punk rocker, man.
Yeah.
He wanted people. Yeah. He wanted his shows to look like G.G. Allen shows. He talks about him. He talks about we talk about punk rock all the time, and that's what he was. You know, he was a punk rocker at heart. So he wanted always. I mean, you listen to his lyrics. He always talked about it. He wanted the energy to be so big that you couldn't walk out the place. That was his favorite night. Just worn out and just sitting around and can't move. That was his goal every time. But that Hold the Floor beat, Camus picked it up and took it when they was out there in New York, and then it turned into Hold the Floor. Then I'm pretty sure Camus wrote that hook.
And that's what I heard. That's what I heard too.
That's what turned into Hold the Floor, and Hold the Floor, turned into a big for rhyme sayings because Dibs picked it up. I think he might even have a tattoo that says Hold the Floor. And he used that either for his intro or exit song on. It's like he still does that today. So Dibs playing that song in front of so many people, understanding the origination of the song and how people reacted with the original Hold the Floor.
So wait a minute. So you're saying, wait. So what was Dibs's involvement? Because you were cut.
Dibs took it on as his song to play, and he told me he I think he has a tattoo that says "Hold the Floor." I think he does.
And he got it from Camus.
No. The song came out on. Dibbs picked it up as his personal like intro or exit song. He played that at the end of every set that he played for years.
Okay.
You know, whether he was on Romstead tours, whether he's doing something else, that song is always at the end of his show.
Gotcha.
You know, and he
So
still does it.
he was playing it when he was DJing. He was playing that song all the time.
Yeah, at the end of his set, like his exit song.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it. But yeah, man, that song was that track, and when that came out, Hold the Floor came out, it blew up. It was the number one jam that year, independent. Yep, that's a big song. I love that song. That song is just
It's a
people
staple.
still kill it. Use it to people. It's a special track. And Camus, you know, they did it the right way. But the original is I'm looking for the original right now. I can't remember the name of it. I'm sure somebody will come up with it. But yeah, Hold the Floor is a dope song. Still lives on, and
Yeah, I mean it's punk. I mean it reminds me of a straight like heavy metal punk fucking rock song.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm actually super curious to hear the original. I never even heard like clearly I never heard that. So if you
I'll see if
do
I can find it for you.
if you do find it, please send it to me because I want to hear the original shit because that's crazy.
Yeah, I got it. I have to send it to you. I sent it to you MP3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Um,
forward that, Denku.
word up, bro.
Yeah. I'll
Hey,
try to find it, but I'm just gonna tend to this podcast. I'll send
Yeah,
it to you.
yeah, cool, man. Um, Grant, is there something you want to ask? I mean, clearly you guys know
yeah,
each other.
Phil, I got a question for you. Um, on the song on Hold the Floor, at that time was Rock Tight was Rock Tight involved at all?
Rock Tight was producing for for everybody pretty much. You know, he was making beats just like Prism was making beats, and
Mm-hmm. I
Rock
was
Tight
just
had his own
curious. I was
style.
just curious.
He was around doing his thing about the same time. I didn't see him out as much as some of the other cats. I think I might have been by his crib a couple of times to do some recording, or maybe I was over there with Prism. But I didn't see him as much as I saw some of the other guys. But he's still well respected in the game, you know.
Oh yeah.
And he was around. He did, like I said, he didn't run around with some of the cats, but he always had beats running. He's always making beats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I caught up with him a couple years back, and we had him on one of the Vibe Societies.
Yeah. You have some good people
Yeah,
up there, man.
yeah. That's man. I'm telling you, one of the biggest impact of that song for me was the last time, one of the last couple times that Run the Jewels came to Columbus. So
Mhm.
Run the Jewels comes to Columbus. This is probably before COVID. Before COVID. So it was probably like, I'm going to say 2017, 2018, something like that. Run the Jewels came, and Camus' sisters and Copy and everybody were there. And a lot of them were backstage and all that stuff. And at the end of the set, Dibs was there. Dibs and Laura were there. At the end of the set, they came back out for the encore. And they came back out. I told you guys this last time. They came back out, Phil, and they played Hold the Floor. And I watched 15-year-olds all the way to 55-year-olds like know the whole fucking song, just sitting there, just it was
That's.
amazing.
I mean, that song is that's one of them songs that's gonna go on forever. I mean, I don't. If it stay underground, that's where it's supposed to be in the first place. It's nice that people know everything and be popular like that, but you know, underground's my thing. I've worked, you know, a lot of big projects, #1 hits. I've been part of a lot of different things, and you know, I'm just underground cat, you know. So as long as people are happy, that's what it is.
I'm with you.
So what's the hip hop scene like? Where you at, Dinku?
Man,
You're
it's
looking at it.
Okay, I mean, yeah.
it's I mean, so there is a history here.
Yeah, oh yeah,
And it's but the scene now is built up of mainly drill and trap shit is what goes on here. Like people don't really care about the any of the boom bap shit or any of the real underground hip hop heads or no shit like that. Like well, so Milwaukee lost a dude named Twan Mack recently, and it got posted around everywhere to where like you know a lot of people now are showing love and respect to this individual on a wider scale. But while he was doing shit here, nobody really gave a shit, and that's kind of
right.
and that's kind of what me and Pestilence deal with in Wisconsin. Which is why I majority try to venture out and tour more and do more things
Yeah,
outside
I
of
was
here
gonna say, yeah.
to spread the base more.
Yeah.
Because as far as people fucking with me here, I mean, people are correct me at times and be like, "Oh man, but they fuck with you, but they don't really fuck with me." It's
Right. They right. They
Right,
fuck with
right.
you. Yeah. Yeah.
like
I think the monthly thing is going to make a big difference.
I mean, it might do something. The thing about it is, I'm doing a monthly, and then Pestilence is gonna start doing a monthly up in Green Bay, and I'm gonna start doing one in Kenosha, which is probably 45 minutes to an hour south of Milwaukee. So it's not really
Okay.
in the Milwaukee scene as much, but I do feel like I could get artists from Milwaukee to come out and be a headline or whatever, and maybe get people to gravitate towards that as being a staple night in the area. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like Milwaukee, drill and trap is what's big. Like that's what you hear most, and that's what people more so gravitate to as far as the rap shit in the area is what
Right.
it is. But there's definitely a history here. It's just based off of I mean, one of the early bigger artists that came out of here was Cuckoo Cow. I'm not a huge fan of it,
Yeah.
but he came out of here. He's still doing shit. He's trying to resurface now. Um, there was earlier acts, like I know that like King Kamanzi. I just had him on show I just
Yeah.
played on Saturday. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he used to be
I've heard of.
he used to be like, not even talking about all the bullshit that went down with Bambaataa or none of that shit. But
Okay.
he was technically Bambaataa's MC. Like because Bambaataa did all this other shit,
Right.
but he was like the MC that Bambaataa pushed. Like he would
Back
bring
in the
you
day or recent day?
back in the day. So like he would
Okay.
he would
Okay.
like he was the MC. He was the dude. Like he actually just told me a story about rocking an anniversary show way back in the day at SOBs with, and then he's dropping the names of the people like KRS was there, um,
Everybody.
EPM, everybody was there. Yes,
Right.
everybody was there.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And he was the unknown that they didn't want to like everybody was ciphering, he was the unknown that they didn't want to get on the mic or whatever. But then like over the time, like people are like, oh, you're a killer on the mic. And he actually originated from a group out here called Cali Tribe, which was technically him, a DJ, and the late Twan Mac that just passed. And
okay.
and they were a group called Cali Tribe, but Kamanzi is nasty. Like he's he's super dope at freestyling, and he switches between boom bap, like hardcore lyrical rap shit, to
Yeah.
like reggae shit. Like he could do a whole reggae set.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Okay.
That's dope.
The
That's
biggest
it.
thing
That's
I've
cool. Yeah.
noticed that's different, and it's actually something that I was going to ask both of you because it's something I really noticed in a lot of the other places that we visited, but particularly in Ohio. And I think this is part of Wisconsin's problem and other places' problem is that never have I seen a collection of so many talented people that are, I mean, I'm sure there's a competitive element, but it's more of a camaraderie. And the people come together and the dope recognize the dope and they build each other up and they work together and they collaborate on songs, they collaborate on shows, they have these nights. That culture just seems to be a huge part of the thing that's missing here in our home state is that there is not a lot of that here. It's pretty spread thin throughout different cities up here, but there's plenty of artists that are like, there's a lot of artists in Green Bay. There's a lot of artists in Milwaukee, and there's just not much of that happening. Quite like it does where you guys are from. Where do you think that comes from? Has that always been the case? Is it the guys that started kind of passing that torch down to everybody that learned in that area, or like what is it?
Philly, you want to go first?
Sure. Well, well, from underground, there's a, you know, there's some of it's a family feel because we all travel. Well, me personally, I travel between the three cities and then I branch out from there. So then everybody with within the realm of the people that's producing music, that's recording music, that's artists, people in the music. We all we all just do things together. We try. It's like we try to save drama. It's like nobody wants to care about anybody else's drama. So then we respect each other because we don't want to bring drama to the next dude. Like, man, I ain't gonna try to do this for. I'm not gonna bring drama to the next guy. We just trying to get this jumping. So then there's within the circle. This is I see drama with other people and they don't want to work together. They don't like each other. But there's a lot of older cats that run in the circle, and so then the older cats is able to hang out with the cats, and then they're we able to respect each other without and or having an ego to a point that you ain't supposed to be here, or you can't be there. Like everybody come in, and if you show and prove, then you in. If you ain't rocking, we'll tell you, you ain't rocking. So then you got to come strong the next time you in. And then it sort of feels like that. It's definitely a respect element that nobody wants to really bring drama to each other. We want to just be cool. We want to make music. And with the older element, it's like I run with the Animal Crackers. That's an older DJ group, but we all still in the music business to some degree. I ran with Scratchmatic, Dayton. I wrote with Scratchmatic in Dayton, but Scratchmatic is sort of, it's just segmented now. So then within everybody else's circles, we all tend to be able to help each other and work together. In Columbus, Grant, some of the older cats I worked with there, they're still doing stuff. Logic, Blueprint, all them cats are still doing things. So every and Michon and from that era, like when Prism was around, all those cats, we still able to work and do things together, even if we're not even part enough. We just see it and acknowledge, like, yo, you're doing some good things over there. Just let each other know that we watching each other. That camaraderie is built over the years, over the years, over the years, and
Yeah, absolutely.
just having respect of not wanting to waste each other's time. It's a respect element within our circles that keep that type of thing going. So then when a young kid come around, it really don't matter what music he's doing. If a young kid come around and he want to learn something, or if he needs something, there's always somebody around to say, yo, holler so and so, yo, holler so and so. So then when the younger cats see that somebody's willing to share information, it's really about the sharing of information and not being the dude to be like, yeah, I got this. So, everybody else got to either put up some money to get to this information, or I'm the man, you got to come through me type of, I'm going to hold all the information, you got to come to me. That mentality really don't exist. Even when, it's like I record with my cat Toby. He blues engineer, animal crackers, all of that. Even when we work together, it's like, hey man, how you doing? What the fuck going on? Hey man, I walk in his studio, I say, how you doing, sir? How are you today? What's going on? This is what we're doing. Yes, sir. No, sir. We got it, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Money is exchanged and the work is done. We go back to the street shit. But anytime during the time that we are in each other's presence, even with Grant, when we work together, it's yes, sir, no, sir, yeah, we got it. Let's do this. Is it paperwork, whatever? So then that type of environment is carried through individuals. And when we get together,
yep, that's it.
So then when kids meet us, it's like, oh, so and so, so and so. Yeah, come on in when you need, record, come and do a cipher like when you guys came through town. There's little things like that make the whole thing work as far as us being able to move our ideas forward. Now, I wouldn't say, just me personally, that everybody's collectively moving an idea forward. It's not like that. Just like you, Dinku, and Pet, y'all got your idea and you want to move it forward and you feel like there's nobody else really out there in your area just supporting it. It's like you just got to put it out there. Let older heads feel like they got their thing jumping off and bring in it's like you got to have young people. If you ain't got young people, then you just preaching to the choir, and you don't want to preach to the choir. Why preach to yourself? You always gotta talk to young kids. You gotta have you. You gotta have somebody younger than you, and that energy is what's missing. Sound like where you guys are at. It's like you don't have to boom bap or whatever style that you into, but you got to have some young people. It's like, yo, that's cool. I'll check it out next time. They'll go tell their friends, what's this? So it's that young element that we've been able to. It's like, I don't know. It's nurturing somebody, but the bottom line is that people are running into each other and able to help these other people, help these next artists and the next artist. We've been able to keep some younger blood, and in the pipeline, and there's something special about youthful energy. And if you don't have that, then hip hop night with a bunch of old heads that done heard the songs 100 times. That ain't no damn fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta have young kids, even if it's one skateboarder. It don't even matter who it is. It could be somebody's soccer mom. But if the soccer mom come there and dig it, her soccer mom friend and they kid. It's like all of hip hop ain't like this. I just met this guy over here that had some really cool shit. It wasn't a lot of fighting. It wasn't this and that. It wasn't talking about fuck your mama and all of this shit. It was some really cool, just some laid back stuff. So then, or energy, whatever. But it's the vibe.
Yeah.
Underground artists and participants, and it's the vibe of underground that always bring people together. always say it's like, I see you going up, I see you coming down. It's sort of like that. It's like the underground always going to be there for the people who feel disenfranchised from what's going on on a daily basis.
Yeah.
That's what underground is like.
Ground level.
The motherfuckers that don't get along with nobody else, or just don't fit in, or don't feel comfortable with their situation. That's what the underground is. That's with hip hop history. That's why rockers and rappers always got along, because we was the outsiders, and it's still that way. It's still outsiders.
Yeah.
It's still people y'all can do your thing to, but you got to do it first.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, that's kind of the goal, I think, with the monthly things. I mean, he's
Go ahead.
he's down in Kenosha, but up in Green Bay here. And it actually happened totally by accident while we were on tour. We had a venue cancel. I had seen this record store in Green Bay host hip hop night before. So I reached out to them. They welcomed us in on, short notice, and we had the show. And the guys, without us knowing this, the guys that run that store have been involved in the Green Bay rock scene for 30 years. Like they've been here doing shows. The one guy used to run the biggest music store in Green Bay for years, and they loved it.
Cool.
They saw that, they saw like, wow, this is something different. This is a genuine, and they're rockers, so it is kind of like what you said, that mesh, and that I think that's where I've seen the most success in this area is through the collaborative efforts of the rockers, the punk rockers, the hip hop cats, and then even bringing in like the drum and bass and the EDM scene, a lot of those kids and stuff, because those guys come out rolling packs,
That's just another extension.
Yeah.
Just another extension.
And don't get me started on the Juggalo scene in Ohio itself.
Oh yeah.
When you start to get into that festival, Tech Nine, strange music, Juggalo style, horrorcore, where nonfiction was some of the originators of those kind of genres, so to speak. They're huge. I was just telling Philly the other day, these guys they're called Clockwork E. They paint their faces silver like scientists, and they brought 125 people out to Rehab Tavern. It was insane. People follow them. They have VIP meet and greets already. Like after a year and a half, I did their first show. Those, I'm telling you, that fan base follows that type of music, which is straight hip hop, pretty crazily. It's insane. It's in Ohio.
I was telling Denko we got to tap into that Juggalo.
You have to. The gathering of the Juggalos is in Ohio. It is the largest and longest to date hip hop festival ever in the world. Straight hip hop.
Yeah.
Yep. We got to get into
Straight up is. Snoop Dogg's performed. Wu-Tang's performed. Cypress Hill's performed. The old school, the golden eras. Everybody. Rakim's been there.
Yeah, I know Onyx played there 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah,
Rugged Man's been there at the grip of times.
You want to know what their fan base? Their fan base is Tupac. Their fan base is Tupac, Wu-Tang, like Biggie and Eminem. That's kind of like their spectrum of music. That's fucking hip hop, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys, it's insane. It's crazy. But to answer your question, man, Philly pretty much said you pretty much said everything, man. I don't really know what else to say besides I learned everything from him. Most of the shit I learned from my dude over here. So the only thing I would add to that is just kind of like the basic idea for me is that like everything that you said, Philly, went to one word, which was I forget the word you kept saying.
Respect.
No, not well, yeah, respect, but not respect, but it was in being in person. The individual, you said individuals.
Individuals,
the entire business, no matter where the technology goes, it comes down to individuals, the fan base, the artists, people behind, people on the stage. It's the individuals that get it all done. The reason that Vibe Society and the reason that The Break and the reason that So What Wednesdays back in the day in Bernie's basement where Camus and Prism started, the reason those places were going on was all because of individuals. And then this individual was more around you and me and you and me. So it takes people like us right here to work and find these other individuals that are like-minded, that want to create and not just have a name or be cool or follow a trend or follow money, or it's real. There's real family and real fucking shit involved, you know. So
yeah, it's cool, man. I mean, and the energy from say from Prism's hip hop night, he got it from he got that Sunday night from he got it from Jim, but I can't remember his DJ name right off. Anyway, so he picked it up from somebody. He picked it up from another DJ that was down. And you know, he and like this Phono Sluts was his DJ crew.
I still got a Phono Sluts shirt. I still got a T-shirt.
So that was the DJ crew. But then, you know, everybody went to Prism to record. Prism was just that guy that everybody gravitated to. But over the years, like I'm speaking specifically of the hip hop night, I wasn't there all the time. So let me say that right away. I knew of it. Every Monday I knew what went on. People told me what went on. Prism told me what went on, and it just built up, and it ended up being a place where, like I said, like all the underground cats, all the people that was disenfranchised, like homeless people would be there. The punk rockers would be there. The hip hop heads, rock and roll heads would be there. All the regulars, like all the old cats that hang out in the bar during the daytime.
Yeah.
Nighttime.
Everybody was there.
It was such a special time.
It was weird. It was weird.
Talk about just raw energy of what hip hop really originated from. That vibe was on that Sunday night.
Yeah, there was amount of campus kids that came,
and then you had the college scene there. So then
there was fucking the Breakers. That was literally where I learned and saw for the first time. Holy shit! This is what the records were talking about. Fuck yeah, I'm coming every Sunday. Like hell yeah.
I remember that. It was like the vibe was just like you know, somebody's talking about, you know, on a record you listen to. Oh, Breakers over here, DJ scratching over there, MCs on the mic, you know,
dude,
falling out, you know, fight break out, you know, it just broke out. Nobody. I mean, we didn't
it would end up, yeah.
Fights broke out, but nobody ever let nobody get beat down. Like, dude, that's enough. It never got to where
for sure
somebody just, oh yeah, we having fun, but ain't nobody trying to trip. You know, you can fight, but we're not gonna have nobody in here getting shot or stabbed tonight. You know, we shut it down. You know, if it was like that,
no one's going to the hospital,
right?
Or go to the hospital. People, it's like a Spitball doing a show. The Spitball is doing a show. There's gonna be some chairs thrown, so it's gonna be some mosh pitting. That's how Spitball shows were. That's what Prism wanted.
Yeah,
and he generated energy to do that. It was just really such a unique hip hop night, and it ran for like 4 or 5 years.
Dude, at least I thought it was more like closer to 10 years.
Was it I don't know, maybe 1999 to 2000, and when he left in like 2006. I think he left 2000. Passed away 2000.
Yeah,
no. Yeah, so I think he might have left 2005 and passed away in 2006. And then that album came out in 2007. No, it didn't. No. Lab Tips came out in 2007. So, so then, after we had those singles come out, the group disbanded. I have no information about what the group was as far as I wasn't their manager. I was Prism's manager. Prism and I would meet in the middle of the afternoon when I was taking lunch break from a day job that I had. That was our meeting time, was during the day. I went around, I can't say anything much about the group itself except for like if he had a recording session, we'd sit down and listen to it. Or he'd be practicing his scratching, or we'd be talking about business, or we'd be cracking jokes, whatever we was doing. That was my time with Prism. That was the majority of my time with Prism. Sitting down and just hanging out with him, talking business, what he wants to do. Like when he had with Silent Records wanted to have a meeting with him to see if we can get a record deal. You know, we went up to Detroit together to check out the deal, cut the deal, whatever. That was a trip because you know, a day job, and it's like he told me, if I remember right, he told me the day before, like, yo, man, in Detroit talking to Silent Record Cat, Pos 2 got the connect, I believe. So as a Philly, you know, right up here to Detroit with me, and then let's check out this record deal. Like, well, I don't know how I was going to do it. I had to work the next day. He's like, come on, Philly. Like I said, well, I got to go home and get my car. He's like, we don't have time to go get the car. All right, so hey, I apologize, but the story is out. It's been out, really. Just ain't nobody looked for it. So I put some gas in the company truck, and I just took the company truck to Detroit. Man, because I got off work, picked them up. We hit the highway, went to Detroit. I wasn't supposed to take the company truck, but I did it anyway. But I don't know. There's a long story why that's fucked up. You can sort of imagine.
Man.
So we drove to Detroit and met up with Silent Record Cat, Mark Kemp, and we negotiated for a few hours, had him change that, and we got the deal done about 4 in the morning. We got the deal done about 4 in the morning. Then we got up, got in the car, and drove back to Columbus. I dropped him off, and I went to work. That was
man.
The whole time, like driving up there and driving back, we talking about house parties. He started out being a house party DJ in Detroit, whatever. I started out being a house party DJ in the late 70s. So we had so many stories about basement parties and house parties, and I think that's probably what we talked about the whole time.
That's awesome.
He about his, and all the different styles that he liked. The the Detroit booty house, Detroit house.
Yeah.
Thing, he was really into all kind of music, man.
And that was a big thing, right?
Yeah, he loved symphony music, man. I'd come over his house sometime. He'd listen to some symphony track, just listening to it, not looking for beats, looking for samples. Even though he used a lot of orchestral samples in his music.
I bet.
He genuinely liked orchestra music. He genuinely liked it, classical music, and he would listen to that sometimes. He would listen to it for enjoyment and listen to it for ideas. So he was a really deep dude, a lot deeper than a lot of people got to know him because, I was lucky enough to work with him on a different level of just being like in a group or a lot of people. Early on when I started coming down to him about night, I would just come and just sit down like next to the table or because I'm not really about being out. I've always been awkward about being out in public. So I just sit next to the DJ table and just sit back there the whole time. Nobody really knew who I was. It really wasn't my point to people know who I was. I was just there with Prism. And Prism would show me around and introducing me to people. Because I knew people in the punk rock scene in Columbus before I started in the rap scene. Through when I managed a rock group called Stitch out of Cincinnati. we would go to Columbus and play at Stashes or play Bernie's or play Little Brothers, some of the punk rock spots, we played those. So then when I went to, we had never played Bernie's. We was playing at Stashes. Never played Bernie's. So I was walking up High Street and I met this cat named Stone, which was the bartender, and he booked people. So I met him like, yeah, man, I got my group down here. He was like, yeah, cool, man. He gave me his number. Like, anytime y'all in town, you know, I'll book your band. And, you know, you need a place to sleep, you can always come holler at me. So through meeting Stone, I met Ray Ray. And through Ray Ray, I met all these people in the music, punk rock scene in Columbus. So that's my first introduction to the Columbus music scene was in the rock scene.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
But spin off from that, then I met Prism and started working with Prism. You know, I already had a foundation of friends that was in the music business in Columbus just through rock and roll. So I was able to help other ways other people wasn't, because just other people I was connected with there. There are a lot more rock and roll cats is a lot more business savvy. When we had conversations, I mean, we have conversations that I don't have with, you know, and different. It's like different genres. Is all these different conversations that go on. They're all the same conversation. Different points are emphasized, or what they're interested in. It's a lot. It's different from genre to genre.
Mm-hmm.
Me being exposed to a lot of these different genres, I was able to get things done for Prism that he wanted to accomplish a lot easier, because I had all these different avenues to work through, as opposed to just being like in the rap scene or knowing people that's in the rap industry.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Was it hard? Was it hard putting out? Like, did you already have a direction after Prism passed for you to release music that he didn't release when he was here?
All right, yeah. So then Prism was notorious of not signing paperwork. He says that in his
You've taught, yeah.
My music ain't copyrighted. If you steal it, I'm gonna come kill you. Or he's gonna do something to you. That was sort of his attitude, and he was serious about that. I'm glad I never really seen him do it, but if it had come to that, he might have done something. Hard to tell. But he was like, Philly, man, you know, I got these two. He was already working on another album, because the album that was supposed to come out, it got lost.
Hey, real quick, I gotta get out of here, y'all. I love you. I wish I could sit for the next 2 hours and listen to you, Phil.
Appreciate you being here, Grant. Appreciate you, bro.
A lot of it you've told me before. A lot of it you told me before.
Yeah. So it's cool that I'm able to put some more light on Prism.
Yeah. Well, you guys continue. Let me get out of here. I love you, Philly. I'll talk to you, buddy.
All right, brother.
Let me come in.
Of course.
All right, y'all.
All right, peace, man.
Peace out, y'all.
So this is how it went. So in Prism, so that the album, so we had built momentum with the 12-inch single that came out, and then the CD came out. Welcome to Spittsville. By the time Welcome to Spittsville came out, the groups was at odds. It wasn't any money coming in, because literally, I guess everybody didn't really understand how. So people were frustrated. The group was frustrated. No money was coming in. You know, so one of them had a kid, one of them this, one of them that. So a lot of personal things went on, and the group pretty much disbanded in the middle of everything. So by the time that and the album they was working on just had one hurdle after the next. Like they recorded it, turned it in, had a beef with one of the members in the group. He wants to leave the group. Now Prism got to go back and take all his verses out of the album.
Damn.
Back and like re-edit everything, send it back. Blah blah blah. One guy, like the guy that's mixing it down, goes to jail. This is like it was just one thing after the next. So then when it finally does make it to the label, the silent, Mark loses it. I have no idea where it is. Nobody has a backup. The guy that mixed it down is in jail. And nobody got his equipment. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. So it's like that. And I was shopping the record along with another demo. I had that record and I had the demo. So Mark was shopping it for trying to make wanting to get a bigger deal. So the word from the album that got lost was this group could be the next Wu-Tang. That's the words that they were using like out in New York. When I go out to New York and shop the record, getting a lot of positive feedback from the record. And people were loving it. But shit just fell. I mean, locally, on the local scene, shit just fell apart.
Yeah.
Damn.
So then we had nothing. So then he put out Flim Flam. He put out some more street releases, albums, Flim Flam. The Straw That Broke the Camel's Back, the earlier one. But I think the Flim Flam was the last one that came out, like 2000. I don't know when Flim Flam came out. But whenever it came out, that was all before we was able to get them that 12-inch and Welcome to Spitball out. After stuff fell apart, he was just frustrated. Like, well, I'm gonna put. So he started recording again, everybody again, and then he had a bad heart. He passed away from he had that condition where his heart won't stop growing. So then he went out to Sacramento to get on the list out there. The rest of that is history. But in the meantime, Brew was out there. He was recording with Brew. Recording with a bunch of cats actually. He recorded with Cool Z, a couple of local cats that was there in Sacramento. So he had all of this music. He's like, Philly, man, here go this music. I got this album, just put it out. And we was planning to put it out, but he passed away before we could get it all done. So by proxy, I ended up with all of this music to put out. So then I put it out. So that's how it's like we're literally us working together. He asked me and Brew, he's like, yo, between y'all two, put this music out. So then, that last first one was the first installment of what he was working on. So then the vinyl, actually, so then the second Lab Tips 2 is not even out. Not even out from that set of music that was created. Brew came from New York. Brew Lee, Spitball and his solo artist. He came to me coming from New York and visiting some of the homegirls from Columbus out in New York. She found a tape of these songs that he just had on a cassette. He was like, Philly, man, you got to check this out. This music is, you need to check it out. And it was a whole nother album.
Damn.
So that Lab Tips 3 is a culmination of this cassette tape that Brew gave me to put out. He's like, yo, man, put this out. And it was as good. It was in that same vein of what Lab Tips 2 is. So I was like, well, I'm going to take this one. I'm going to put this out. This is even more rare than what I have. So, working with my man Toby, is like, you listen to that vinyl, it's one on the first song. We couldn't get it exactly how we wanted it. But you know how it is when you're working on stuff. At some point, you got to come to a compromise, or it's never going to leave the studio.
Yeah.
So then we worked it. Sound design, changed stuff. It's like the beginning of the first album, and you know how your tape get warbles in them from the tape being creased up or just being old and stretched, and it plays and it has that tape wobble in it. That's how it was, and we worked that bitch down. We worked it down to where it's like when you play it, it sounds like something, but then it's like then it goes into the song and it's fine. I said I'm leaving it on there, and you know, so then that album culminated just from a tape, from a cassette tape. It don't sound like it, but it took us a lot of work to get it to sound like it came out of studio fresh. That you know, because I'm a sound engineer by trade as well, but I working with. He's been my sound engineer since since I was down with the Animal Crackers. And so then with his experience, he worked with everybody. With his experience and my experience, we was able to get that album to sound, you know, sound great compared to how it started. A lot of work, but you know, so now, so then the next thing I'm going to put out is going to be another installment of the tracks that I have. You know, just keeping his name alive. I don't make a lot of money on it. It's not. It's not really the point. The point is, you know, I'm taking care of my artists.
Yeah, keeping the legacy. I feel it. I feel it.
Yeah, yes, but it's like, you know, it just keeps turning. You know, album here, I get a request there. Somebody wants it here. A record store buy 10 or 12 of them there. People overseas buy it. And then, like the last album I put out for Prism was that Vatos Clan. The group was out of Bogota, Colombia, America. So then when I put out Lab Tips 3, they're big Prism Spitball fans. So they contacted me through social media, like, man, we big fans. This is our group, Vatos Clan, really cool cats. And they just like, yo, we want to put out an album with Prism Beats. You always put out an album with Prism Beats. So I told them, I was like, take these beats, remix them, do whatever you want to with them. Send me back. Let me hear what you get. You know, let me hear what you're gonna do with it. They sent back some fire. Sent back some fire. It was cool. They rapping in their name in Spanish, you know, in their language.
Yeah. Oh, damn! Did his phone just die? I think his phone just died.
Okay, yeah, I just got a message.
Oh, there you go.
So then, so so this group is we got a and I didn't know Spitball has a fan base in Bogota and in Brazil. Our music sells down there, like all. I've sold more vinyl records in South America than I have here in the United States.
That's what's up.
Damn. It's dope.
And that's what I'm talking about, like underground and where the, you know, and that's what's cool. And that's what's cool about social media industry. That's what's cool about it. I would have that, you know, I could have looked at some matrices, yes, but to know that it's like to have a fan is one thing, but when they activate, when they're willing to contact you, then that's when you
When
know
they
that you really
activate.
touch them.
Yeah.
Like you said, streaming, like you listen to streaming, but you know, it just goes one after the next after the next. But when a song is able to get somebody to turn their thoughts and their feelings about the music into action, you know, to activate, if you want to say.
I love
That's
that.
when
I
you're
love
really
that
able
term.
to.
Activating your fans. That's a dope way of putting it.
Yeah, you making music and make them feel to where they, you know, I want to buy something, or I want to dance, or however the music make them feel, you know. So then I put out that Vados Clan album. You know, it does what it do. It sold 75 copies, CDs. I think I got a few returns back. You know, I didn't make that much money off of it, but the thing is, it's out there for people to have, and that's what's important about Prism's music. The songs I'll make money on, because you got to make money. You can't just keep me not make money, but you also got to know the difference between making money and what your goal is as far as an artist or a music business person. Everybody got a goal, or they wouldn't be doing it. You might not know what your goal is, especially when you're young. But at some point, everybody has a goal. Especially when you talk about people who's been in the music business their whole life or been in a long time. It's like after a while, you don't get up. You ain't moving out the house unless you working.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, I'm not doing this unless I'm getting X, Y, Z. And everybody know what their tolerance is. But the bottom line is that project jumped off because, Prism had an impact on them to the point that they were willing to contact me just out of the blue. And if they're willing to contact me out of the blue, I know they're interested. So at least giving them beats, it's like it really didn't matter to me if they sent anything back or not. It's like if they asked me, I gave it to them. I expected something back, but if I didn't get anything back, I wouldn't have tripped. So you got some prison beats, good, go do something with them. But they send it back some dope shit. What was cool to work on that project was I didn't understand Spanish.
Yeah. Yeah, that actually
Well,
that exact thing actually happened to me. I got to sound engineer because I've been sound engineering for probably like 15, close to 20 years now. And I got the opportunity when I got down with Onyx, the 100 Mad shit, to mix and master the Onyx Worldwide album. So there's all the Onyx shit on there. I understand all that, but every feature on the record is someone from a different country, and I don't understand any of the shit they're talking about.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
So then, from a producer standpoint, because I work with my man's Toby. I don't have to worry about the sound element part of it. All I gotta say is turn this down, turn this up. I might reach over, grab a knob here or there. He's doing that. So now I'm producing,
Yeah.
able to work that album without knowing what they were saying. Freed my of all of that, and to be able to listen to their vocals as a percussive instrument, basically. How their vocals like rode on the beats, how to how to place the vocals either. It was like the voice was another instrument, not me listening to them what they saying. And that freed my mind up of having to hear what they're saying and just listen to the vocals as an instrument. If you don't know what they're saying, you can't concentrate on it. Yeah, you've done them sessions where the cat that you're recording is saying it really don't matter what they're saying, but for some reason that point of the day, that time, that session, and he's saying and the vocals is just like it's like you don't want to hear it, or something you heard a million times, or something like that. That tends to tends to make you listen to it a different way.
Yeah.
As opposed to if you work with somebody that you're familiar with, like, yeah, he about to get down and you really can focus. So then the opposite of that is like you get that guy in there or girl in there that is like, I'm not really down what they're saying, but we're gonna get through the session. So then you're not listening the same way. Your emotions not allowing you to listen to it the same way. Even though you hearing it, the vocals would be to the point where it's like you can't listen. If you're not listening to it, you're not giving it all you're not giving it your best effort.
Mhm.
Probably subliminal with that. But to be able to not understand what they were saying and listen to their vocals as an instrument just about. And rap is rap. You can I understand some of the words. I wasn't totally blind to the Spanish language. But the fact that I didn't have that wasn't part of what I was thinking when I was working the album, when I was producing it, made it such a, it was a freeing experience for me but then it made the album really come out really good to the point that once they sent me send me a translation of what y'all saying so I see what y'all saying. I got that after the album was almost done.
Mm.
And I think I might have wrote I think I read one song. I didn't care. The motherfucker sounded dope. And that was it. It's like whatever they were saying, that's what they saying. Once I got it, I read the one, I was like, cool. They cool. It sounded good when I let people hear it. It's curtains, man. You don't always have to like the thing with me now, especially I'm 60 now. It's like it's like what I just want a good record. I don't even employ like half the shit that I know. I don't even employ it. I just want it to be a good record. If it needs this little here, this little there, it's like I try not to tamper. As a producer, I would used to be able to, let's run it through a million, the fetch units or whatever.
Yeah.
Now it's just I listen to it, and I try to give it an honest opinion. Like, yeah, the drums need to be louder, or something's out of tune. And I'm not really good with the tuning thing. That's another reason I work with. I said, is that out of tune? I can always ask him, and he'll tell me the truth. So that also frees me to be able to just listen and work on the music. If it's good, from the start, I'm only going to do a little bit of this and that. The way it's like, man, this is a little too busy. Let's take out something. Let's break it down to its basics.
Man.
Add a little bit of this. Let's add a little bit of that to where it breathes and it's banging. It's keeping that neck going. It's like it's not like it's so you can't even get a bounce in. You can't get a good bounce in because there's so much shit going on. And sometimes that's good. It's going with the song.
Yeah, man.
And doing that record and be able, not knowing, to be able to listen to those voices and instruments as opposed to knowing what they're saying, that was definitely an experience that I'm glad that I had.
That's dope,
Give
man.
me a whole different perspective on
Yeah. Yeah, that's super dope, man. I mean, we're going on we're getting close to shit 2 hours, man. I mean, we've been chopping it up, we've been talking, man. We've been doing the damn thing, man. Pestilence, you got anything else for Philly Phil before we outro out?
I mean, I really appreciate you coming through and really sharing um, a wide breadth of knowledge, from a technical side to also, like the behind the scenes, how the culture moves and stuff like that. It's always an honor to have people that have been around it and been around successful variations of different things, pass that wisdom down. I always feel like I get a lot out of particularly the episodes like this where we have somebody that's so willing to share their information. And that's something I'm definitely going to heed, man, because with us building up, hopefully some hip hop nights in the Wisconsin area. That's kind of the focus, and the goal is to um, get everybody open with sharing information and opening doors for each other, and hopefully we can look back at this as one of the stepping stones of us kind of being able to find a way to get a better scene going, man. Starting with the foundation.
Yeah, you gotta get out there and do it. Let the people gravitate to it. Make some mixtapes. Give it to people. Like, I don't have a CD player. Like, give it to a friend. Use it for use it for a fucking cup holder, whatever you got to do. But you want to have that piece in their life.
Yeah.
Was a flyer, something, whatever, any way you do to move your idea forward. The people is out there. The kids are out there. The older cats are looking for something that don't exist. They gotta make something that don't exist.
Yeah.
Underground's always
Yeah, man.
There's always somebody looking for it. And if it's not enough people to keep making it viable, then try it somewhere else. It takes time.
Yeah.
I feel that,
It takes
man.
a lot of effort.
Well, like I said, man, we appreciate you to the fullest, man, for being on the CyphaDen chat, man. Before I let you go, I just wanted to ask if you had a favorite story from your times managing DJ PRZM that you could share that maybe you haven't shared before. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Uh, oh man. I see, we got a lot of stories. Uh, all right, so we Columbus started a hip hop convention every year. So here I forgot who was putting it on. There's some cats put it on. They had down the convention center. Had people there, that type of thing. They had a lot of booths and everything. Spitball playing, and we had the vinyl out. I don't think we had our CD out. And he was like, we ain't got nothing for our booth. We had some merch, but we ain't got nothing to make our booth stand out. I'm like, well, put some videos. Let's get a video. Like, well, we need some video shit. So I was like, fuck it, let me go. So I said, I'll be back. So I want to say I went to Target. I can't remember where I went. Maybe. So I went down to the store, bought this TV with a VCR tape jammy in it. Took it, set it up at the merch booth, and it attracted people because I can't remember, we was playing Dumbo, like I don't know what, some of his favorite DVD movies. Didn't have nothing to do with hip hop at all. It was just playing. So everybody was gravitating to this TV because it has nothing to do with hip hop. Like why is it on? Like some people ask, like, why y'all playing this? And other people just came over to see what it was, and it brought people to our booth. We was able to sell CDs and stuff. And they performed, Logic, everybody performed, and it was cool. And after it was all over, we packed it up, took it back, and refunded that bad boy. We refunded it. We're like, yeah, man, we gotta get the money. We got another show to go to. We got a show later on, so we need that back. So we just took it back and returned it, got our money back. So we did silly shit like that. PRZM was that type of cat. He always, he's really good at heart cat, man. Badass, and to this day, nobody's producing music like him.
Yeah, man. Definitely one of a kind, man. It was super dope. Linking up with you in Dayton when we were out there, man. That obviously led us to this, and I appreciate that. And hopefully,
I appreciate you guys having me out. I don't do this very often, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
I don't look for it, but the fact that you invited me is cool, man. That's what it's about.
It's an honor, man.
Yeah, man. And we will be in touch, man. Like I said, if you find that original Hold the Floor joint, whatever it was called, make sure you send me that because I definitely want to hear it, man. And among other things that you got going on, and I'm always down to chop it up and build more for sure, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I like you guys' music as well, man.
Appreciate you.
Y'all keep doing your thing. I mean, however y'all want to get it out, get it out, man. Do your tours, man. I wish I had the time to do that. I wish I had the time to do that. I'd never be home. That type of thing in your blood, you got to get out and do it. But it's very important to get out and do it. Do all your social media stuff. Use that information here. Go meet the people that support you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, bro.
Well, yeah, man. Like I said, this has been dope. This has been the CyphaDen Chat podcast presented by CyphaDen Music, where we inspire even those higher. And remember to never stop chasing your dreams because you will never know what you are fully capable of. Tonight, we had special guest Philly Phil out of Dayton, Ohio. You know, like I said, I gotta just call you an entrepreneur, man, because you wear many hats, you do many things. So yeah, we appreciate you being on here. We had the special guest host Grant Gatsby join us for a while.
Yes,
Shouts to
sir.
Grant.
The homie.
Yes, based out of Columbus. He's been on here before, and yeah, I'm your host Tayamu Denku. That's my homie Pestilence, or tonight Pester Exodus. Always switching up the name on people, confusing them to where they don't even know who the fuck Pestilence
Yes, sir.
really is. but, but yes, man, Philly Phil, man, we appreciate you again to the fullest, man, and we're chopping up. We're keeping touch, man.
Appreciate it, man. We'll do it about something new.
Hell
All right,
yeah,
bro.
man.
Love.
Yeah.
Much
Peace,
love,
bro.
brother. Peace.
Thank you.